Today, we got the STOWA Marine Classic. The Marine Classic pays tribute to deck watches of the past. The handheld chronometers were absolutely essential for survival for any marine vessel before GPS. But should you buy it? How does it wear? How does it feel? We're gonna discuss that in this video. Now let's begin. Introducing the STOWA Marine Classic 36 millimeters. Started in 1927. They are 95 years old. So we got a company with a ton of history. When I hear STOWA's name, I think Fliegers. That's their bread and butter. But you know what? They make fantastic reimaginations of the 1940 deck watches. Now, I'm not going to go into the history, but real quick, John Harrison in the early 18th century made the world's first sea chronometers, and they were used for navigation. So when a watch impresses me within the hand feel, which is completely subjective, I say it gives me a positive impression of quality. But I do have a tier system. The lowest is a poor impression of quality or negative impression of quality, then standard impression of quality, then we have positive impression of quality, and at the top, an extremely high impression of quality. This watch, right off the bat, gives me a standard impression of quality. One of my dings is the crown feel. It is a beautiful, large 6.2 millimeter onion crown push-pull, giving the watch 50 meters of water resistance. The movement is an ETA 2824, which normally has a date, but STOWA modifies it. So when you pull out the push-pull crown, sometimes you hear 2 clicks or 1.5 clicks, and pushing in as well. 1 click, but if you push a little bit harder, there is a second click. So the crown is a little bit finicky. It doesn't feel sorted and solid. The watch is completely high polished and the mirror finish is fantastic. This watch is 3 years old, so has a ton of scratches and dings, but it held up really well. And now the wearability, how this wears. So it's a 36, but it has a really large dial coming in at 33 millimeters for the sapphire and the dial. So that makes it wear larger. However, the gentle downward curvature of those lugs and being high polished makes it kind of disappear and wear smaller. So overall, I feel like it wears true to size. Maybe we can say it wears like a 36 with a little bit more wrist presence. To illustrate my point, here is the vintage Grand Seiko mod we did on the channel earlier, and it has a smaller crystal, about 29 millimeters. So you can see right there, the wrist presence is going to be different, but it's clear that the STOWA wears larger. Now let's do the dimensions. 36.1 in diameter, thickness of 10.8 with a double-domed sapphire crystal clear anti-reflective coating, no drilled lugs, and a lug-to-lug of 44.6. The strap 18 millimeters, tapering down to 16, and it feels like a generic Chinese leather strap. It says genuine leather, which we all know means it's the lowest grade possible. However, it does feel soft and is very comfortable, so there is that. The dial is enamel look, so I'm assuming it's enamel paint, which is disappointing. I've reviewed Seikos with real enamel dials and they're incredible. The look and impression you get from real enamel is something you want, trust me. But the enamel look, it does a good job. You get a pure white, but it doesn't have the same effect as the real enamel. Love the railroad minute track all the way around. The theme here is less is more. STOWA in silver under the 12 o'clock Arabic, and that's it. Beautiful thermally blued hands. When you catch the light, you can see the color come to life. That's amazing. If you're going for a marine chronometer look, this is exactly what you want. The weight is 57 grams, extremely light and comfortable. The movement here is upgraded, top grade ETA 2824 modified by STOWA. What do you get with the upgrade? You get perlage work, Côtes de Genève, also real rubies instead of synthetic, and an upgraded mainspring. So it's definitely worth it. 140 USD on top of the base price. But look at the rate. No error, 3 years old, 300 amplitude, 1 second a day. We're gonna do 12 down to see that positional variance. Not very often we get a top grade ETA. It does about -2 seconds on my wrist. So I am expecting to see a negative number, and look at that, -2. Oh, it's correcting itself, -1. Amplitude, powerful at 291, no error still. Fantastic. Let's ignore the first number and the fourth and final round, -2. The Marine Classic from STOWA has no loom, so we're not gonna do a loom shot. I'm gonna recommend you do upgrade the movement. It's gonna be around 960, but for under $1,000 from a historic brand in Germany, something a little bit different in your collection from the many Swiss or Japanese that you most likely have. I think German watches, not many people have German watches. I did nitpick a little bit with the crown action and the enamel dial I complained about, but that's unrealistic. The price would be way, way higher if it was real enamel. So you can ignore that negative. It's not fair. So overall, gorgeous watch. Will I keep it in my collection? I don't know. I bought it just to review. I do like it, but I'm not sure it's gonna stand the test of time. Only because when I go 36 mil, I want tons of wrist presence, and I don't get that from this one, but that's just me. And guys, if you're still here, remember to subscribe, like the video, and watch some of the videos on the right of your screen right now. And I'll see you in the next one.